What's up, Commanders family? Welcome back to the channel where we break down everything burgundy and gold, with heart, honesty, and hype. Now, before we dive into today's hot topic, let me just say this. The Washington Commanders aren't standing still. Not even for a second. This franchise is focused on leveling up, from the quarterback position, to the trenches, to the sideline, to the playbook. Dan Quinn, Adam Peters, and the front office are cooking something special. You can feel it. The NFC Championship run last year was just the start, and now the front office is going all in to ensure this team stays competitive and dominant for years to come. So if you appreciate the grind, if you're hyped about this new era of Commanders football, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're here every week with insider news, draft updates, player breakdowns, and everything Commanders Nation needs to stay in the loop. Alright, now let's talk about a position that doesn't always make headlines, but could be one of the sneakiest priorities for Washington heading into the 2025 NFL Draft, running back and folks. It looks like the Commanders might already have a favorite in their sights. Let's start with what we know. Washington has two solid veterans in the backfield, Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Ekeler. Robinson's a bruiser, a tone setter. Ekeler? He's a proven dual-threat vet who can hurt you in the run game and the pass game. But here's the thing. Both of them are entering the final year of their contracts. So, what does that mean? It means the Commanders could be in the market for a future RB1, someone they can bring in now, develop behind the vets, and unleash in 2026 and beyond. That's where things get interesting. Enter Bishul Tutin. If that name sounds familiar, it's because he's quickly becoming one of the biggest risers in this year's draft cycle, and the Commanders are paying close attention. Tutin is a former standout at Virginia Tech, but his journey started at North Carolina A&T, where he put up 2,300 rushing yards and 17 touchdowns in 2022. After transferring to Virginia Tech, he added another 2,000-plus yards to his resume, averaging 5.7 yards per carry, and even returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns. The dude is electric. He's 5'9", 206 pounds, but don't let that frame fool you. This guy runs with power, vision, and straight-line speed. He clocked a ridiculous 4.32 40-yard dash. That's elite speed. That's house call from anywhere on the field speed. And here's where it gets spicy for us Commanders fans. Tutin recently revealed in an interview with Grant and Danny on 106.7. The fan that he had a private workout with Commanders running backs coach and run game coordinator Anthony Lynn in Blacksburg. Not only that, but they had lunch together afterward, and previously connected over Zoom. That is not a casual meeting. That is the type of one-on-one attention teams reserve for players they're seriously considering. Especially when it comes from a veteran coach like Anthony Lynn. Who knows? A thing or two about evaluating running backs. That lunch, that workout, that Zoom call, all signs point to a team doing its homework on a potential Day 3 steal. Now let's talk logistics. The Commanders have 5 picks in this year's draft. Round 1, pick 29. Round 2, pick 61. Round 4, pick 128. Round 6, pick 205. Round 7, pick 245. Tutin is currently projected to go somewhere in the Day 3 range, likely the 4th or 5th round. So he's very much in play for Washington with that number 128 overall pick, or possibly even later if they feel like rolling the dice and waiting. The value could be tremendous. With Robinson and Ekeler still in place for this season, Tutin wouldn't be asked to carry the load right away. He could learn the system, improve his ball security, which has been a knock on him, and grow under a coaching staff that has a clear track record of developing offensive talent. And when 2026 rolls around, he could be ready to take over. Let's shift for a moment and talk about how this all fits into the bigger offensive picture. Quarterback Jaden Daniels, who shocked the league by leading the Commanders to the NFC Championship in his rookie year, is already excited about the new toys Washington has brought in this offseason. Speaking to NFL.com's Bobby Kaunak, Daniels called the additions of Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil a blessing. It's super exciting because, obviously, we want to get better each and every year, and the front office has done a great job. Adding a dynamic player like Deebo and adding Laramie, two players that have really been proven in this league. Yeah, for some years. It's awesome. I'm just excited really to get out there and get to work with them and start building that continuity. And honestly, he should be excited. Deebo gives the Commanders another explosive weapon who can operate as a receiver or a runner. Tunsil, he's a top-tier blindside protector, giving Daniels more time to operate in the pocket. Now imagine Bishul Tutin added to that mix, learning behind Ekeler and B-Rob, with his speed and return ability, providing instant impact in limited touches. It's the kind of offensive versatility that keeps defensive coordinators up at night. When the Commanders traded away Sam Howell to the Seattle Seahawks last March, the reaction across the fan base was mixed, to say the least. Some were excited about the future with Jaden Daniels. Others felt like Howell deserved another shot with better protection and a new coaching staff. But what nobody saw coming was how quickly the Commanders' new GM, Adam Peters, would pull off what's now being viewed around the league as a brilliant value play. Let's break down the deal. The Commanders sent Sam Howell to Seattle in exchange for a 3rd round and a 5th round pick, while also sending out a 4th and 6th rounder. So yes, there was some pick swapping involved, but what Peters did was maximize the value of a player who wasn't in the long-term plans, and he did it without blinking. Now, with fresh reports out of Seattle, that trade is looking even more genius than we first thought. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, the Seahawks are already shopping Sam Howell. Yes, you heard that right. Just one offseason removed from acquiring him, Seattle is taking calls from teams interested in the former Washington starter. That's because they've added not one, but 2 more quarterbacks. Sam Darnold as the presumed starter, and Drew Lock as his backup. Oh, and don't forget Jaren Hall is also in the mix. That makes 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Someone's got to go, and all signs point to Howell being the odd man out. The kicker? Seattle is willing to trade him before the draft. That means they're trying to recoup picks, maybe even the same 3rd rounder they gave up to Washington. If they succeed, it will only further confirm that Adam Peters fleeced them at the right time. Let's give credit where credit's due. Adam Peters came into Ashburn with a plan. He knew he had to stabilize the quarterback room, and he did just that by drafting Jaden Daniels at number 2 overall. He also knew that keeping Howell around would muddy the waters and possibly split the locker room. So what did he do? He quietly explored trade partners, played his cards close to the vest, and struck when the market peaked. And here's the crazy part. According to ESPN, the Commanders weren't the only team talking to Seattle. 3 other teams were reportedly in the mix for Howell, but Peters worked that competition to his advantage. He didn't panic. He didn't sell low. He made a calculated move, and now, with Howell potentially on the move again, it's clear he pulled off a chess move in a game full of checkers. Now, let's talk about Howell himself. This isn't a slam on the kid, far from it. He was put in a brutal position last season under Ron Rivera. The offensive line was a turnstile, the play calling was inconsistent, and he took hit after hit after hit. Despite all that, he showed grit, flashes of talent, and leadership. But the writing was on the wall once Peters took over. When you have the chance to draft a potential superstar like Jaden Daniels, you take it. And unfortunately for Howell, he became the odd man out. The silver lining for him is that there's still interest across the league. With this year's draft class not featuring a clear-cut star like Daniels, teams may see Howell as a better option than rolling the dice on an unproven rookie. He's cheap, still young, and has starting experience. Wherever he ends up next, one thing is clear. He needs to hit the ground running. This is likely his last chance to prove he can be a long-term QB in the NFL. So let's connect the dots. You have 2 veteran running backs in the final year of their contracts. You have a front office known for forward-thinking roster building. You have a quarterback entering year 2 of his rookie deal. And building around him is the top priority. You've already added proven veterans like Deebo and Tunsil. And now you're eyeing a speedy, powerful, multi-purpose back who can contribute in multiple phases of the game and comes with a relatively low cost. The fit is perfect. Tutin's ball security needs some work, no doubt. But the Commanders wouldn't be drafting him to start immediately. They'd be giving him a year to learn, grow, and refine his game. And in return, they could end up with a starting caliber back on a rookie contract in 2026. A rare commodity in today's NFL. So here's the bottom line. Commanders Nation, don't sleep on Bishul Tutin. This guy has all the tools to be a future star, and the Commanders are clearly interested. Between the private workout, the Zoom meeting, and that one-on-one lunch with Coach Lynn, this feels like more than just due diligence. And with day 3 of the draft approaching fast, don't be surprised if you hear Tutin's name called when Washington is on the clock. But now, I want to hear from you. Would you like to see the Commanders draft Bishul Tutin? Do you think he could be the long-term replacement for Brian Robinson, Jr., or Austin Eckler? Or would you rather see Washington target a running back earlier in the draft, like Trevayon Henderson or Caleb Johnson? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be replying to as many as I can. And don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're hyped for this next chapter in Commanders football. We've got more draft content, exclusive reports, and film breakdowns on the way, so stay locked in. Until next time, stay strong, stay loyal, and as always, HTTC.